Welcome back to race 3 of today. Today's final race here at Silverstone International Grand Prix. The guys will line up in a second on the grid. And while we wait for it, I would like to say that registering for the S.R.O.C GT3 Sprint Series is still possible by visiting iRacing's forum and look up their post on this league. Well, we see the guys starting. Schlacker heads first to turn 1, so we had a bad start there. Took him a while to get off of his starting grid. And let's see if race 3 has as much action as race 2 did earlier today. A nice overhead view here. We're seeing Michael Bell in the red Audi, preceded by Tigelaar in the green BMW and Miller in the tan Mercedes. Alex Mas and Schlager are battling it out for P1. In the back we see S.R.O.C going wide again. He's having a lot of trouble today here on Silverstone. And here comes the move by Mas on the inside. Pushes Schlager to the left and forces him. Oh, and there's a spin. Schlager gets up on the grass at the left side of the finish line and spins out, loses a lot of position. So does Enderman, who wasn't able to avoid him. And here we see Schlager. He has to make up 5 seconds to make up position. It's back in P10. David Carter has not started. He has been assigned as retired at the moment. Simon Frederick defending against Matthew Tucker, doing a good job, while Jimmy Miller has come up the field and is driving around in P5. It's not bad. He also has had a lot of troubles in the first 2 races. And Frederick puts his Mercedes on the inside of Jimmy Miller. Jimmy Miller trying to take his position back, and he does. He forces Frelick on the outside here in the last corner, and we'll see if Jimmy Miller's top speed will keep Frelick at bay. Simon Frelick using the slipstream on the inside of Jimmy Miller, takes a peek but gets in line again. It's a nice 4-way battle here. Tucker and Enderman can profit off of any mistakes they're making. Like now, Jamie has been spun by Frelick and Francesco gets by just barely there. So Frelick and Miller are able to continue the race. It's a shame, even though they will be able to make up some time. The race is still 12 races long here now, 12 laps long, sorry. We're back with Matthew Tucker being followed by Kevin Enderman. Very quietly in P5 right now, and we have another crash. Tigelaar and Michael Bell have crashed. They have made contact, giving Matthew Tucker 3rd place, and Enderman has found himself in P4 again. Bell regains track right in front of Solima. Let's see if Solima can use the advantage he has without having a damaged car to get past him. Oh, and also Sullivan slips up again like in race 2, and this time holds his car on the track. Here comes Jamie Miller. Jamie Miller in His Majesty's Ferrari. His car is a bit banged up. But he seems as if he's still able to race it out. For those who haven't checked in our earlier 2 races, welcome to the Sunday's Race Day Online Championship GT3 Sprint Series here on iRacing. These races are held on Wednesday, but they don't care, we don't care. They race all week long. The league is held on Wednesdays evenings. It's 6 o'clock in the evening GMT time when the practice server starts up, and then after an hour at 7 o'clock in the evening at Greenwich main time the race starts, the first one at least, being followed by the other 2. Ten more laps to go until we hit 14, and this round will be concluded. After this there will be 5 rounds remaining. There are 2 kinds of formats. There's the super sprint that we are witnessing right now. It's 3 short races one another, and there's the sprint format, which will be 2 races after another. Those will be a bit longer. And after this race, next week we will visit Zandvoort. Zandvoort is one of the Dutch tracks. There we see Solima fending off Jamie Miller with the view from his Ferrari. Ferraris haven't been able to make a statement as of yet. Might be the track, might be the drivers, might be the car, who knows. But for now, they're the 2 drivers most close to each other. View from the rear of Solima's car here. It's the last section of the track where Jamie Miller seems to have the advantage over him, especially the last 3 corners. Skipped over to Jamie's car. His Majesty's Ferrari. Runs a bit wider in turn 1. And regains track. Doesn't spin out, fortunately for him. We have seen a lot of drivers here today struggling with that corner, especially when they hit that stroke of grass there. The car can slip underneath from out of view. And the 2 are getting closer to Bell. So let's see if they can challenge Bell for 6th. Jamie surely is giving his rival Ferrari everything he has, even though it's just for P7, but it's nice to see they're hungry even in the middle of the pack. And they are close right now, ladies and gentlemen. Bell running wide, Jamie Miller as well. Damien Stigelaar is coming out of the pits, has finished his repairs up. He is 3 laps down. Alex Mas is in first at the moment, with Peter Miller in second. Would be his best finish today so far. If something goes wrong, so for him it doesn't. Well, we still see Jamie Miller pressing the issue here, pressing the issue. Sollima defending. It's still a clean battle. It hasn't been all day, but up until now they're showing us some great qualities of driving here. And this is the real part of the track where Jamie gets very close to Sollima. It's incredible. Their lines aren't that different from one another, but it's just as if Jamie feels more comfortable in that last sector. And look at Bell. The guys have made up a lot of time. They're just 7/10 of a second behind Bell. Sollima being a bit careful in turn 1. Doesn't want to risk it after his crash in race 2 probably. Nice view to see what the difference exactly are here between the cars. And this is again part of the track where not only Miller but also Bell is running faster than Sollima. So Sollima has really got to keep the pace up in that last sector, and Jamie Miller needs to pass Sollima if he's yeah, I would say if he wants to have a shot at P6 at all. He can't waste too much time behind Sollima. He's wasting precious seconds, precious laps. Here we see Miller again sneaking up in the rear axle of Sollima's Ferrari. Let's see if you can get to him this time. He seems to have a better entry going into second last corner. Just has a bit more traction here in that last part of the track. But he should try to gain just a little bit more time. Attack full on in that last sector. That's where Sollima's weak point is at the moment. Oh, and there we see it. Yes. Wheel to wheel. Jamie Miller attempting the pass, but Sollima is holding on to their life heavily there. We are losing some terrain now Oh, just as I'm about to say they're losing terrain, Bell goes wide in the hairpin. And the two Ferraris see Bell getting a bit bigger in the front screens. Oh, and here we can see Jamie Miller being very, very fast in comparison to Solima. And here comes the pass, here comes it is. Yes, just like Maas did to Schlager in the opening laps, Jamie Miller does the same to Francesco Solima, pushes his adversary to the side and makes the pass for P7. And now we should give it his all to regain some seconds and catch up to Bell, who has been able to create a little gap between him and the two Ferraris behind him. And we should see Jamie Miller creating a gap of his own, now going into the last sector, the slower sector as it were on the track, starting here. Well, we switch over to Frelick following Matthew Tucker. Tucker quietly driving around in P4. In 5th position there's Simon Frelick. Alex Maas is sitting comfortable in 1st position. He shouldn't be threatened at all by Peter Miller in 2nd, who is 3.5 seconds behind him. So here we are, nearing the last corner. Alex Maas is entering the final lap of today's all 3 races. He'll be very pleased with his results today. Hasn't finished outside the top 3. And this is it. Final lap of today's races, ladies and gentlemen. The S.R.O.C. GT3 Sprint Cup Series is about to conclude its 1st round after 3 short races of 14 laps. Matthew Tucker is trying to hold out that last final lap. Frelick doesn't seem to have the pace though to make any moves. So unless Tucker makes a big mistake, well, we change back to Alex Maas rounding out the last corner, heading onto the start finish line, wins race 3 of round 1 here on Silverstone on the international layout here on iRacing. We congratulate him on his victory here in race 3. Well, Peter Miller has an excellent 2nd position. Enderman finishes 3rd, while Tucker ends up 4th with Frelick right behind him in 5th. Michael Bell will be 6th probably. Let's see his exit. Yes, he does. Bell will finish in 6th right in front of Jamie Miller. It's going to be exciting here at the last part. Solima not far behind him, 8th, and Demis Tegelaar here in 9. I would like to thank you all for watching this 1st round of the S.R.O.C. GT3 Sprint Cup Series, and we hope to see you again next week back on Zandvoort. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching.